Want to be part of an amazing global network of women in higher education? Today, I'm talking with Alison Prior and Donna Poade from the Academic Woman. They're going to tell us all about their website, all about their vision and mission to help create a global academic support community. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia to make your best impact. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I put out new videos each week. All right, so today we are going to be talking with Alison Prior and Donna Poade from the Academic Woman. We're going to take a look at their website, their Facebook page, hear about their LinkedIn group, hear about their vision, mission, and where they're headed for the future to create this great global support group for women in higher education. So let's go over and talk to them.
All right, so welcome everyone. I am super excited today to have Alison Prior and Donna Poade from the Academic Woman here with us. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for coming.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
So Alison and Donna run this great site called the Academic Woman, which is a global network of women in higher education. And what I'm going to do is just transition over to sharing my screen here so that, let's see if I can do this correctly, so that people can see your website.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe we're going to do this. Are we home? Is that the, there we go. It's coming up. All right. And so I thought it would be nice if you could just start us off telling us a little bit about your mission, what you're doing with this website, what you hope to accomplish.
Do you want to go first? Okay, so basically Donna and I met during a women's development seminar in the middle of the year, last year. And it was such a wonderful group of women in higher education who, surprisingly, once they started to open up and come forward with the problems they were facing in their different roles in the university, we realised that actually everyone was having similar struggles. And so we decided to go forward and set up a network. And so we initially started with a Facebook group, and then we sort of looked at the idea that we had. So we wanted to foster a network of women that we could have peer-to-peer support and also have more organic mentoring relationships coming out of, but to showcase the work that women were doing in academia and the journey, because what we often don't see is that the women who are in these amazing positions in universities have had a really not necessarily rough or difficult, but not a linear path to get to where they are. And so it's quite amazing once you see the different barriers that people have faced along the way, that they're very shared amongst women at all levels in higher education. And I think that can be quite empowering to realise that.
Yeah, I think it's good to know that you're not alone, right? That other people have similar struggles. What are some of the struggles and difficulties that you're finding women are having in higher ed?
I think there's a number of difficulties that women face. One of the very shared ones is about imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've come across that.
I haven't.
Well, imposter syndrome, I think, it's about confidence, isn't it? And it's about why women don't put themselves forward. It could be about promotions. The gender pay gap is something else that we have found that speakers often talk about and is often then raised in discussion. And also things about work-life balance and the well-being of us as women in very sort of quite stressful situations and stressful jobs. But each speaker that we've had in our Inspiring Women series throws up new sort of information, new things to discuss, but again, very shared similarities that regardless of what discipline you're in, regardless of what level you're in, working mothers, they're all shared between each other.
And I think the interesting thing with research as well is that depending on the discipline you're in or the work that you're doing, you can be in a very isolated environment because everyone tends to be really focused in what it is they're looking at. And there are there are lots of barriers there that just being part of a network and being able to discuss those can be quite liberating.
So you offer a number of resources for women on your site. Can you say a little bit about those?
So our site, we would like to put a lot more on there. We have big plans for what we would like to do. But I guess the main things we've started with have been the seminar series and the women's forum. So for the seminars, we've just started the series kind of this academic year. And we've heard from some really interesting women working in the doctoral college, in the School of Medicine, School of Business, various things. At the moment, it's all been based here at the University of Exeter, but we are expanding that to other universities in the very near future. And we essentially get these women to come and speak to us about both their research and their own journeys to academia and within academia. So we post all of those seminars there for people to listen to at their own time. It's really important to us that it's accessible. So this is why we want to have it all online. And yes, the bit you're scrolling down to now is for anyone across the world, wherever they are in an institution or university, to showcase their own inspiring women, or people that they're really, whether it's a researcher, professional services staff, students, everyone has inspiring stories, right? So we really want to showcase those and share the struggles, the experience, so that people realise that they're not alone in the difficulties they're having in their career trajectories.
Right. So the idea here is to do what you're doing, but do it at your own institution, and find a woman or create a community of women in higher ed to share their stories and their journeys and host it at your own institution. That's really lovely. If I want to find the recordings of the women that have done these so far, where on your website do I find those?
Yeah, so if you just scroll up to the top again, it's just in the seminar series tab, just up there.
Past seminars.
And we've just recently made it to log in, so it's very easy. You just sign up with either Google or Facebook, or your email address, obviously. And once that's approved, you can get in and access all of the recordings.
Okay, nice. Now, you also have a Facebook group. Do you want to say, which is, it's closed, it's private, you apply for admission, but do you want to say a little bit about your Facebook group and what you're hoping to get going in there?
Sure. So we started the Facebook group. This was the first sort of point of call on social media, really, to try and form the network and get people engaged. So we do a lot of posting. So it could be resources, it could be tips around how to get your work published. So it could be academic or research or teaching focused, or professional, but also personal development. So it might be wellbeing resources we might share also. And also sort of trying to open discussions and get people engaged. So you'll see a number of people that will come up with different resources, suggestions, topics to discuss. So we're aiming to engage everybody in talking about recent discussions or topics that are affecting women in academia today, or wider than that. So we started off with a very small group, and now I think we've got over around...
Well, there's 300.
Yeah, 302 members. So, and our aim, again, as Alison was saying, is to make this global and accessible for anyone that wants to join.
And I think it's really important. So we actually have a Facebook page and a Facebook group, because we do want it to be accessible to everybody. So the page is actually, anyone can like it and follow the news stories and see what we're up to. But the closed group is more for facilitating open discussions amongst women in higher education to come forward and talk about issues in work, in life, in anything that they might feel is a barrier for them, and where they're at. But it's so important that people do join in the discussion, because otherwise it's just you know, it's just people posting resources, and we wanted to go a bit beyond that, which is why it is a closed group. And we do encourage members to be open and share their issues with the community, because you'll see that quite a few people jump in and have similar experiences and resources to share and tips, which is just fantastic to see.
And this is what we found this is what we found when we started the group. The course that we were on was, once one person starts to share and you don't feel so isolated, then other people start to share as well. And it was really important for us to have a safe space to do that. Again, hence the closed group. But knowing that you are not alone, that you're not isolated, that there are resources there to help you also, and that you're in a safe and supportive environment, so that we're helping each other as a sisterhood in one sense, I think is really empowering for women in order to share openly some of the struggles and also their achievements as well. This is a celebratory environment too, rather than just these are the barriers, because, you know, that gives a different message, doesn't it? So it's about celebrating our successes as well and inspiring each other.
Yeah, it sounds like it's about the whole process, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The positive things are there, as well as here are my questions, challenges, struggles. Here's some resources I found. It's everything. It's really a community that you're trying to build that really supports one another, but is also there for the good and the bad, the ups and the downs.
Because it's the whole journey, you know. The academic journey can include lots of challenges, but again, lots of rewards too. So in our seminar series, we tend to sort of guide our speakers with a profile which has 3 different sort of questions. What are the good things about working in academia? What are the challenges? And also, what are the tips that you would give other women coming through that journey as well, to share their experiences, which I think is also really important to know, you know, how other people have faced those challenges in today's environment.
Now, you also have a LinkedIn group. Do you want to talk about, I mean, there's a Facebook group that's a closed group. There's a LinkedIn group that's also a closed group, right? Do you want to talk about that, and are there differences to that, or is it kind of the same thing but a different space?
Well, it's interesting because I was just about to bring up this point, actually. I think the networking aspect is very important. So what we have here is a global interdisciplinary group of people at all different levels and roles within academia. And so to bring people together to discuss issues is one thing, but then to develop that as a network for collaboration and I mean, it would be, we've had a few people that have sort of got together and gone, well, actually, you're researching the same thing as I am, but from a university on the other side of the world, maybe we could work together. This would be, you know, really interesting to explore and move forward with. And that was the idea behind the LinkedIn group. At the moment, our LinkedIn group is still quite a small group, so we would like to focus on expanding that. But I think professionally, it would just be wonderful to connect to women across the world who are working in some role in higher education, to just expand professional networks and have a bit of a club of women in academia, if you like, to help advance one another's research interests.
Yeah. So I will make sure, I'm going to link, I have a whole list here, make sure I get through all of this, right? I'm going to link to your main website. Let me know if I leave something off. I'm going to link to your Facebook page, which is open to everybody. I'm going to link to your Facebook closed group. Can we link to that as well? And then they just apply?
I think there is a link to that on the page, but you're welcome to share that as well. Yeah.
Okay. And then the LinkedIn group, I will link to that as well. And then also you are on Twitter. Yes. So I'll put in your Twitter hashtag. All of that will be in the show notes underneath here. Is there anything else, any other space that you're on that we should be aware of?
Well, I really wanted to start a YouTube channel for the academic woman, just to showcase, I mean, channels like your own, actually, where women who are in higher education have taken this huge step of making their own videos and sharing their research or help and tips for others in academia, because it's so important. And it would just be great to get people all in one place to look at, well, what are women in academia doing on YouTube? What great channels can I follow? So we've sort of started with that, but
So YouTube channel potentially forthcoming.
Yes.
Well,
That's
we've got it, yeah, exactly.
Or do you have one already?
We've got one set up already, but it's quite basic.
Okay.
We're putting out the feelers to see who's out there and what they're doing.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. Well, Alison and Donna, thank you so much for taking time to share with us. This is an amazing thing that you all are doing that I think is really going to help a lot of women in higher ed and just end up being this great resource and collaborative space and help people be able to connect and support one another. So thank you for doing this wonderful work.
Oh, thanks so much. It was lovely to chat to you and to talk about it. I think the more people we have involved, the better. And it's a really, I mean, it just benefits from all of its members, really. So it's the members that make the group.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Leigh.
Thank you.
All right, so that was Alison Prior and Donna Poade from the Academic Woman, and I'm going to be linking to everything that they have for you in the show notes. So definitely head down there. You're going to get access to their website, their Facebook page that's open to everybody, a link to the closed group on Facebook if you want to apply for that, a link to the LinkedIn group, which is also a closed group, a link to their Twitter handle, and a link to their YouTube channel. If I missed something, I'm sorry, but it will be in the Facebook, it will be in the show notes for this video. So head on down to the comments and chat. What issues are you struggling with as a woman in higher ed? What questions do you have? How can we help you? How can we be supportive so that you can be successful on your academic journey?